Hello everyone. In this video I will talk about the form builder and try to briefly explain and showcase what you can do with each of these options so you understand immediately what they are for. The required category selection option is essentially telling the system that when a user tries to submit a listing, they first need to be prompted with the category selection. So they need to choose the category, and then when they choose category, and only then they will be able to submit all the other details based on that category. So for this to work, you of course need to have a multi-category website. So here we will need to create at least one more category. So because if we have just the default category with, for example, like on this with car listings, then category selection is not required and it doesn't make sense to use the category selection at all. So I hope that is clear. The next is the form type, and as it says here, only applies if required category selection field is set to yes. So this allows us to create different submission forms for different categories. Okay, so for example, we have the global category. It is not category but a global type, which means that on the listing submission form, this form builder will always show up. These fields will be up for selection. But if we create a new category, for example, real estate, and we go to the pebas settings, form builder settings, here now we will have the option to choose and create a form builder below, but based only and applied only to the real estate category. Okay, so if I create a new form here, it will only be applied for the listings that are being submitted through the real estate category. And all the other categories, if we have cars or something else here, will be fall back to global category type, unless they also have their own form created for them. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Essentially, global category will always be used unless a listing is being submitted through the category that has its own form created. If this is empty for a category, a global type will be used, the one created here. Essentially, these are the sections or the steps depending on the form type that you are using during the submission. And here you can click and drag, manage them, edit them, add new field, and so on and so back and forth and so on and so on. To edit the step, to edit the field, delete the step, delete the field, add new step, add new field, and essentially you don't have to press save changes if you change anything in this form. Okay, essentially you can choose if they are required and what kind of field are there. Few things to mention here that are important because of the way the WordPress is working, and right now they are very easy to understand. WordPress, when creating a listings, like here we have, has a requirement to have a title and to have a content fields in order for the listings to be submitted. So in order to do that, we just need to create a new field, but I already have one, but let me just choose the text type and set to store the field like listing title. This tells the system that when this field is populated, as you can see, save as WP title. When this field is populated, it will be used as the listing title here automatically. So if we click to edit it, it will be the listing title. Same thing or similar thing applies to the content. To use this as the content, which WordPress requires, we create a field, name it however we want. It doesn't have to be description, but what it needs to have is to be editor, field type for the content, and to store the field not as default but by listing content. And essentially that's it. The last thing that is required is, in order to to have the gallery show directly on the listings. Let me just show you what I mean. You can create as many galleries as you want, okay? But in order for the gallery to show like this here and this here without any other settings, or in the easiest way to show it there, you just need to name it gallery, and that's it. It will immediately work out of the box. You don't have to do anything yourself. The very last thing, in order to show the categories that you created here and all the taxonomies inside on the listing submit page, you need to choose the type, to set the type of the listing categories. You can name it however you want. Once you set it to categories, this required is not applied on this field, but doesn't matter, because requirement you can set directly on the taxonomy screen. So if you set it as field as categories, it will be used to display the listing categories, and that's it. You can create as many forms as you want and as your site and your use case need. In case you run into any issues or anything about this is not very clear, please let us know in the comments or on our support page, and we'll be glad to help you out and to improve on this. Thanks a lot.